Welcome to UMath. You guys remember when you were really young and you liked playing with your Etch-a-Sketch? Well, we have here a Simpsons Etch-a-Sketch. Pretty cool, hey? Homer's head. It actually works. Ooh, want to see a really cool drawing I can make? No, I'm just doing it randomly. Anyway, see you later, Homer. Today we're going to look at taking variable expressions, saying what the numbers are, and then subbing them in to those variable expressions. And you've actually done this year. Anywhere you've used formulas, and just having done all the formulas in geometry, you started with a formula and then you plugged in numbers. That's pretty much what this is. So it's not really new in any way. So numbers into variable expressions. You could get a question like this. So this is called a variable expression because there's no equal sign here. As soon as you put an equal sign and a number on this side, it becomes a variable equation. But we're just dealing with expressions here and what their values will be. So here's our expression. And now if x were 4, anywhere we see an x, we're going to put a 4. Y is -2, so anywhere we see a y here, we're just going to sub in a -2. So let's do this one. So x is 4, so we see an x here, so I'm going to write down 4 squared, plus, here's another x, so we'll put a 4 there. There's nothing in between the x and the y, so we know it's times. And times y, we put a -2 there. I'm just going to show it by brackets here, because you're not really supposed to put two signs right next to each other. So that's the only reason I have brackets. So now let's actually solve for this. We're back to BEDMAS again. So we have an exponent, which we do first. So 4 times 4 is 16. And then we have an adding and a multiplication. So we know we do the multiplying first. So 4 times -2 is -8. And now we put this plus in here. And once again, I'm just going to put brackets here because it's not a good practice to have two signs right next to each other unless they're separated somehow. So this one is 16 plus a -8. And we know that when we get these two signs next to each other, a positive and a negative, that the negative wins. So we're going to rewrite it as a negative there. And 16 minus 8 is 8. So there's our answer. Let's do another one. Subbing in, just like we did in the last question. So here is our expression. We have a y here, and they're saying that y is -2, or is 2, pardon me. So we will put a 2 where the y is. And that's squared. Here's an x. They're saying x is -3, so I put that there. Plus y, and it's saying y is 2. And so now we're going to solve it. We follow BEDMAS. Once again, we have to do what's in the brackets first. So -3 plus 2, I know the answer is going to be a negative because the negative is bigger than the positive. How much bigger is it? It's 1 bigger. So you have a -1. Or you can think of it as I go down 3 and then I go back up 2 and I end up at -1. And then, so we've solved what's in the brackets. Let's write down our exponents. Next, well, we have exponents. So let's do this one here first. -1 squared. So what that means is -1 times -1. We know a negative times a negative is a positive, so it's just a +1. So that's all we have to write down there. For this one here, 2 squared, 2 times itself is 4. And let's not forget to put this negative down. And there we have our answer. For today's lesson, 157. You may cross off on page 371. You may cross off questions 1 to 8 in sharpening skills, being really generous here. And you may also cross off on page 372. I'll let you cross off everything there, so you don't have to do anything on that page. When you do these 2 word problems, I want you to think ratios. That is totally going to help you, especially if you get stuck for how to begin the question. Set up ratios and you should be able to figure it out for those 2.
That was easy.